Welcome back, everybody. Here in studio, we have Ryan Renier with the Lincoln Marathon, which is back in town this weekend. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So what can people expect for this weekend?
Well, we've got lots of fun in store. We should have our largest marathon since before the pandemic. So we're expecting about 6,000 runners to take to the streets on Sunday morning. So it should be a lot of fun.
Why do you think that is, so many?
Yeah, I think we've just finally gotten back to a new normal, or maybe folks are less concerned about health concerns that were with the pandemic. So we're just slowly creeping back to where we were before the pandemic.
Any new information that runners, attendees should know for this marathon compared to previous ones?
Yeah. Well, our course is going to be about the same as last year. So if they ran it last year, or if the spectators came out last year, they should expect about the same thing. The difference, though, we're at our finish line, we're going to have some warm food for all of our competitors. We'll have food trucks out there for all of the spectators. Should be a lot of fun. But we are tracking, some hot weather on Sunday, so that's a concern too. I would ask, all of our runners to maybe be a little bit more careful. Take a look at that forecast, and even though it might be 55 when we start, by noon it could be in the 80s. So that could be, could be a little difficult for those runners if they haven't been preparing for that hot weather.
Yeah, staying hydrated, very important.
Absolutely, yeah.
So how much planning goes behind this?
Yeah, a tremendous amount, as you can imagine. It's kind of like a part-time job from January until now, and then really the month of May becomes almost a full-time job, right, as you can imagine. So with that many runners, we have about 2,000 volunteers also. So we rely on a lot of different people to make sure that they're in the right spot on marathon morning, right, to keep everybody safe and keep the public informed of everything that's going on. So a ton of planning, hours and hours.
How long have you been a part of it?
So I've been a part of the Lincoln Track Club for about 10 years now, and I've been the director of the Lincoln Marathon for the last 3.
So what's been your favorite part about putting this together or helping out?
Well, so when I was a runner, so I've run this race maybe a dozen times. And
no big deal.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's a great event, right? I love this race. I love that Lincoln, the city of Lincoln, gets behind it. And for me to be able to be a part of putting it on so that thousands and thousands of more people would have a chance to run it, that's really the best part, right? Just being in a position to bring the sport and bring the event to thousands of more people.
So it is coming up this weekend, very fast. Is there any last minute things that the community or attendees should know about?
That's a great question. Yeah, so with the weather, we've put some emails out to folks that are along the course, so if you have a house that's along the course, asking you to maybe consider putting a sprinkler out for the runners. That's, if you're 20 miles into a race and it's 80 degrees, right, a sprinkler feels really good. So I would ask, if you're a spectator, maybe think about, finding ways to help keep our runners cool. We will also be offering ice and some other things at our aid stations this year. So maybe show us a little bit more grace as we're trying to move ice, around the city to get to those runners so that they can stay cool. So that would be my request, right?
All right. Awesome.
Get out and cheer them on and see what we can do.
Yeah, and then we're going to have this up on our website too, but if they want to find more information, that can be up on the Lincoln Marathon website.
Yeah, yep, okay. That's right. It's lincolnmarathon.org, all one word.